Now, Nintendo has made some amazing characters throughout the years, recently with CAPPY, and back in the day with a similar one called KIRBY. However, they're actually too similar. So it's time to find out who of the two is the better version. Who will be the Capture King? Well, let's find out. Alright, our first candidate was born a couple of months ago, the legendary CAPPY who became the new companion of Mario. He's some sort of a ghost hat with special powers, who somewhat resembles an Eerie seen in other games in the series. Now, throughout Super Mario Odyssey, you can use him to solve problems of all sorts. Mario can throw him and take out enemies with it, teleport to specific places, and his main power is taking over living beings and random objects. Because when you throw CAPPY at certain enemies or objects, he seems to possess them, allowing Mario to use them to get across the stage. This ability is officially known as Capture, and with it you can use the special abilities of these enemies or items. Besides that, he can fly around as a hat, transform into other shapes, and talk. Now in this corner we have the other candidate, KIRBY, who is similar to CAPPY in a lot of ways. KIRBY is a pink puffball and main protagonist of Nintendo's Kirby series of video games, which has been running for over 2 decades, and over 30 titles have been released under his name. Now his signature technique is Inhale, and he has been performing it since Kirby's Dreamland. He opens his mouth really wide and sucks up lots of air, in a manner resembling a vacuum cleaner. He also has an ability known as Hypernova, which happens when he touches a miracle fruit. This allows him to inhale things as large as trees or moving things made of stone or metal, more than twice his size. Now as soon as he sucks something up, it essentially ends up in a void, as seen in a TV show. But it doesn't end there. After inhaling anything, Kirby has the option to either swallow it or spit it back out as a star spit attack. But there's also a third option, the copy ability. Using this, Kirby can mimic the enemy's power by swallowing them, so all of a sudden he gets completely new powers. He even has the option of combining some of them to create the ultimate combo. And in Kirby Superstar, they also introduced the helper system, where Kirby could sacrifice a copy ability to create a helper, an allied version of the enemy he had previously swallowed. Besides that, he can do other things like jump, run, and fly by filling himself with air and flapping. Now as you can see, there are a lot of similarities between the two. The biggest difference is just that one is older than the other. But who is better, new or old? Well, we will find out by looking at the following points: versatility, usefulness, survivability, and raw power. Now for both of them, their main power is to copy and capture. All the others are just there to mostly assist them in movement. So who is more versatile? Well, when CAPPY takes over a target, he really becomes this being, which allows him to use all the exact same abilities in the body made for them, which allows him to use it all to its full extent. He becomes the perfect copy essentially, which helps him a lot. In almost every scenario, he can mimic the enemy perfectly, and by using this gets through the level. He can even use lifeless objects to continue his journey. Now, Kirby is different in a way. While he does suck up his enemies and essentially takes its power, it's not a perfect copy. He gets some of the powers of the enemy and to an extent expands upon it. However, it doesn't get it all. So he gains new skills and movesets in some areas by improving the power and using it in different ways, but also misses out on some because he isn't the same. However, this doesn't really matter for Kirby, because he can always create an helper out of them. And even when he encounters a certain problem, he can start combining powers to fit his needs in any situation. So when it comes down to it, Kirby has a lot more options with his main power. CAPPY can't combine them or just create a follower out of an enemy. Sure, he can use random objects to get past obstacles, but is still not as versatile as Kirby, because all he can do is possess them. So here I would say that Kirby is more useful. Even his normal moves are better than CAPPY's. Because of all of this, he automatically wins usefulness as well. Mostly because of the combining powers. Using that, you can recycle certain abilities and create completely new ones, or more powerful versions to face the task at hand. So the first 2 rounds already go to Kirby. Now for another important thing. Survivability. You won't be able to get to the end of your adventure if you can be taken out easily or lose every fight. Now in Super Mario Odyssey, we mostly see Cappy on top of Mario's head. He's only seen flying around at the start of the game. So because of this, we don't really know how tough he is. We only get one example where he gets taken by a bird and needs the help of Mario to be saved. Seeing something like this, you would think that Cappy isn't really that strong and can be taken out quite easily. However, you need to keep in mind that he's a ghost. So the question is, can he even be defeated? Well, to be honest, I have no idea. It's never seen in the game that he can even be harmed, so he might be unbeatable because of that. He's already dead after all. You can't really go past that point, now can you? Now we have seen multiple times before how tough Kirby is in both the TV show and the games. Overall, he's incredibly durable for such a small pink blob, taking hits from beings a lot bigger than him. So while Kirby has been seen surviving more battles and crazy scenarios, Cappy wins here only because he's a ghost. It's a bit of an unfair comparison, but that's just how it is. Now for the last important element, raw power. Who is stronger? Well, this one is actually quite easy, because Kirby is a bit of a weird being. He can do and survive almost anything. Being shot by a laser, cracking a planet in half, destroying enemies the size of planets, and surviving blasts greater than anything we humans could ever create. What it comes down to is that he's a tough cookie, with insane power even without the copy ability, while Cappy has to rely on his captures. Without them, he's essentially useless and probably could do nothing. So he's essentially as strong as the thing that he captures. Even if those die, he gets ejected from them and is back at 0. Because of this, Cappy is quite limited in what he can do and how powerful he can get. But luckily enough, he seems to be able to capture powerful beings as well. For example, at the end of Super Mario Odyssey, where he takes over Bowser and can fully use him. So while Cappy is certainly not something to brush away, Kirby is more versatile, useful, tougher, and more powerful. Comparing the two, you can see that Kirby as a being is a completely different ballpark, beyond Cappy's wildest dreams. The copy ability also beats the capture one in almost every way imaginable. Kirby can combine them and even create helpers, which makes it a lot more useful already. So when it comes down to it, Kirby is better. The only thing that Cappy wins in is dying, because he's already dead. In the end, the old-timer wins. He's for sure better in every way, and especially as a vacuum cleaner. So the newbie has some stuff to work on before he can beat a master. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, click that bell button. You all need to get notified. This is important for me and for you. For you to get more entertainment and for me to make money. I mean, and to keep making fun videos. I mean, it's like a bit of both. So if you could do me a solid, then click the subscribe button and the little bell.